start us off.
And it came to pass that after we had come down into the wilderness unto our father, behold, he was filled with joy. And also my mother, Sariah, was exceedingly glad, for she truly had mourned because of us.
What does mourn?
Been sad,
Worried. Oh yeah. So like
But
about a month.
They
I
were
don't
gone
know.
for a while.
They were gone more than a week. We know that for sure.
She was really, really worried. And how did they feel when they saw him again?
Really happy.
Really happy. Yeah.
Wait, I thought Lehi was happy because they brought back the plates.
They were most happy that they were healthy and safe. That's what they were most happy about.
But Nephi was also happy about that.
Well, let's see what happens.
For she had supposed that we had perished in the wilderness, and she also had complained against my father, telling him that he was a visionary man, saying, Behold, thou hast led us forth from the land of our inheritance, and my sons are no more, and we perish in the wilderness.
Wait, Nephi wrote that, right?
Yeah.
How did he know?
His dad probably told him when he got back. He was like, Nephi, I'm so glad you guys are back.
And you're saved.
Your mom
I would
has
have never heard
been-
the end of it.
Woo, she has been on me ever since you left.
I think Mommy was behind.
No, she was just scared and she was
She
upset.
was just really worried. I mean, there was no cell phone, no emails or cell phones back at this time. They had just gone, and she had no idea if they had made it to Jerusalem or if they had died, like something had happened to them on the way. She had no idea.
Mommy.
So she was really upset with Lehi for sending him off. Verse 3 says, And after this manner of language had my mother complained against my father. So she was pretty upset. I mean, when you get scared, that's the kind of stuff that you do. Verse 4.
Usually when emotion gets popped up, you say things you don't really need to say.
That can happen. That can happen. Verse 4.
And it came to pass that my father spake unto her, saying, I know that I am a visionary man, for if I had not seen the things of God in creation, I should not have known the goodness of God, but had tarried at Jerusalem and had perished with my brethren.
So we just tried to talk about how they were doing what the Lord was asking them to do.
Trying to cheer up Sariah.
Yeah, she was really sad.
But behold, I have obtained the land of promise, in the which things I do rejoice. Yea, I know that the Lord will deliver my sons out of the hands of Laban, and bring them down again unto us in the wilderness.
And after this manner of language did my father Lehi comfort my mother Sariah concerning us while we journeyed in the wilderness up to the land of Jerusalem to obtain the record of the Jews. So Lehi was telling all these things to Sariah to make her feel better, and everything's gonna be fine. This is what the Lord wants.
On the Lord's errand.
Yeah, and the Lord will bring them back to us.
And sometimes parents might feel this way when they send their kids off to go on missions, right? Like you're gone for 18 months or 2 years serving the Lord, and sometimes parents can worry, like, are my kids okay? Are they going to be all right? And sometimes we just need a little reassurance that they're doing the Lord's work, they're on the Lord's errand, and He's going to protect them. Right? And that's kind of what Lehi was talking about. And when we had returned to the tent of my father, behold, their joy was full, and my mother was comforted. Yeah, it was a huge relief when the son was saved.
And he spake, saying, Now I know.
And she spake.
And she spake, saying, Now I know surely that the Lord hath commanded my husband to flee into the wilderness. Yea, I also know surely the Lord hath protected my sons, delivered them out of the hands of Laban, and given them power whereby they could accomplish the things which the Lord hath commanded them. And after this manner of language did she speak.
Yeah. So did her faith grow when she saw her sons again? Yeah, sure did. Yeah, verse 9.
And it came to pass that they did rejoice exceedingly, they did offer sacrifice and burnt offerings unto the Lord. They gave thanks unto the God of Israel.
And it represents whose sacrifice?
Jesus.
Jesus' sacrifice.
Wait, but how did
That
they
will
know
come
he's
for
the
them,
sacrifice?
but it already happened for us.
How did they know he's the sacrifice?
All of the ancient
All of the
prophets were
prophets
told
knew.
that Jesus was going to come and offer a sacrifice. That's why they did animal sacrifice as a sign and a symbol of Christ's sacrifice.
And after they had given thanks unto the God of Israel, my father Lehi took the records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, and he did search them from the beginning.
So once Lehi got the scriptures, what did he do?
You
He
read
stuck
them.
them on a shelf in his tent and never touched them
He's like,
again.
okay, thanks guys for bringing them.
No,
Let me put them in a box.
of course not.
He used it as a paperweight and a decoration.
No.
If he used it as a paper, the kids would be like, "Will you risk my life for this?"
No, the moment he got them, what did he start to do?
He started to read
He
them.
started to read them.
From the beginning, and then he's going to be to the end.
Yeah. And he beheld that they did contain the 5 books of Moses, which
What
were
are the 5 books?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers,
and
Deuteronomy. They're the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Were contained in their version of the Old Testament on the brass plates, which gave an account of the creation of the world and also of Adam and Eve, who were our first parents. Verse 12.
And also record of the Jews from the beginning, even down to the commencement of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah.
So it went from the beginning of the scriptures to what time? Their day. And who was some of the last prophets they had in their plates of brass?
Isaiah.
And Jeremiah.
The Old Testament.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Old Testament is the law of Moses. The New Testament is the law of Christ.
Is that why it's split?
That's what it's called, yeah.
wait, what's
Testament is like covenant,
Okay.
law, that sort of thing.
The Holy Bible split into 2 books. That's what I was saying. Why weren't they merged into 1?
Well, 2 sections, because each section has books. Like
Now,
Genesis.
one thing to keep in mind is we have these records in the Old Testament, but there were many prophets who were writing revelations from God. It's likely that our Old Testament is only a portion of all of the revealed scripture that existed at that time. So the plates of brass probably had teachings of the Old Testament that we might not even have in our Old Testament, that might have just been lost over the years. So there was probably, not only did it have what we have in our Old Testament, but it probably had other things that have been lost over the years that we don't even have in the Old Testament, in the copy we have today.
And also the prophecies of the holy prophets from the beginning even down to the commencement of the reign of Zedekiah, and also many prophecies which have been spoken by the mouth of Jeremiah.
And it came to pass that my father Lehi also found upon the plates of brass a genealogy of his fathers, wherefore he knew that he was a descendant of Joseph. Yea, even that Joseph, who was the son of Jacob, who was sold into Egypt, and who was preserved by the hand of the Lord, that he might preserve his father Jacob and all his household from perishing with famine. So he found a family tree.
Right.
That would be pretty cool.
And Jacob,
And
right?
Lehi was a descendant of who? Does it say here?
Jacob.
And which of Jacob's sons was Lehi a descendant of? Joseph. Very good. 15, and they were also led out of captivity and out of the land of Egypt by that same God who had preserved them.
What does it mean that same God?
So that God was there for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that same God was there when the Israelites were free from Egypt. But who was the prophet who did that? Who saved them from Egypt?
Moses?
Correct.
And thus my father Lehi did discover the genealogy of his fathers, and Laban also was a descendant of Joseph. Wherefore he and his fathers had kept the record.
Although they kept the records as descendants of Joseph and Israelites, were they righteous caretakers of these scriptures?
No.
They were not. They weren't living the law of Moses the way they were
not
supposed to.
So good.
17.
And now when my father saw these things, he was filled with the Spirit, and began to prophesy concerning his seed.
That these plates of brass should go forth unto all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people who were of the seed.
How did the plates of brass, the information on the plates of brass, go to all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people?
The Book of
Through
Mormon.
the Book of Mormon, that's right. So, and when he read the scriptures, what was he filled with?
The Spirit.
The Spirit, right? And that's kind of the blessing we get when we read the scriptures. Yeah, and we get to have the Spirit rise more. Wherefore he said that these plates of brass should never perish, neither should they be dimmed any more by time. And he prophesied many things concerning his seed, or his descendants.
And it came to pass that thus far as I and my father had kept the commandments wherewith the Lord.
This accomplishment happened because they were what?
Following the commandments. And we had obtained the record which the Lord hath commanded us, and searched them, and found that they were desirable, yea, even of great worth unto us, insomuch that we could preserve the commandments of the Lord unto our children.
So was Leah the only one reading these? No, it looks like they all were, right? They're kind of learning from the scriptures.
What if they did a family scripture study with us?
Probably
They
did.
probably did, because they just had the one set, and they probably started making copies and transcribing it, but they were all kind of.
They probably
reading the
all
same
gathered
thing.
and Levi's tent and dwelt.
And dwelt,
on the
and
scriptures.
reflected. Yep, 22.
Wherefore it was wisdom in the Lord that we should carry them with us as we journey in the wilderness towards the land of promise.
I mean, that's kind of true for us. As we journey through our lives, what should we take with us?
Scriptures.
The scriptures, right? And we should use them as a decoration in our home.
Even when we go, like, even if we go on a really common vacation, it's still
Well, it's pretty convenient now. They're
Now
all
that
on
you
our
have-
phones
they're on
and
the
our
phone,
tablets,
yeah.
so we can read the scriptures now anytime we want, and that's a great blessing.
The
To be able to
scriptures
take
are-
it with us.
awesome.
Feast on the Scriptures.
But they did more than just carry the scriptures, right? They were studying and learning from the scriptures.
So-
We searched them and found that they were desirable, even of great worth. Right? So that comes from studying the scriptures. Nice job, guys.
Cool.
We'll
Hit
go
that
to chapter
subscribe
6
button.
tomorrow.
Give us a huge thumbs up. And yeah.
See you guys when we read chapter 6.